already said something about that.
Welcome to Nerd Sports, everybody. Thank you, Amy, for watching. And today we're going to talk about the great sport of curling,
which we've already covered, but I am more than happy to do it again.
Well, this Winter Olympics coming up, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. There's still time to make the U.S. Olympic team for curling, I think. I don't know.
Is there? That'd be, we could do
I'm
it.
sure they've already gotten their quota for fat bar dudes from Wisconsin.
I don't, no, I don't think so. We could do it. But anyways, today, this week we've gotten down to the line for the next 2 weeks. For we're gonna talk sports on NFL, but we're gonna talk basically the two teams that are going up in the Super Bowl.
Well, that and the news that broke the internet.
Yeah, we got the LA Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals going after the Super Bowl. Bengals,
but the news that I'm referring to is
it happen to be with your jersey?
Yeah, it is.
Is it? You're wearing number 12?
The internet went completely batshit crazy. I know we're within the 5 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, fuck it.
The internet went crazy. Tom Brady's retiring. And I'm like, man. So you start seeing all these obligatory thank you goat for all the, just the thank you posts, right? For the memories. And it dawned on me, if he does, because he said in his Let's Go podcast, that sometimes it takes some time to really evaluate how you feel, what you want to do. And I think when the time is right, I'll be ready to make the decision one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first one since, his first comment since Ian Rappaport reported Saturday that the GOAT plans to retire. And according to multiple sources close to Brady. But Tom Brady's agent, Don Yee, stated that Tom will be the only person to express his plans with complete accuracy.
Yeah. Which he actually, man, I just had it. There we go. No, not that one.
I mean, the Buccaneers have no clue what the hell's going on because Brady hasn't told them what's going on. And I'm like, okay.
He's still going through the process. I said as I go through. Yeah, same thing as the Let's Go podcast.
Yeah, he said
it was still a good week for me. I'm still going through the process. I said I was going to go through. Sometimes it takes some time to really evaluate how you feel, what you want to do. Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah. Said it's always a good line that I'm responsible for what I say and do and not responsible for what others say or do. I think the one thing I've learned about sports is that you can control what you control and what you can't, you leave to others. We're in such an era of information and people want to be in front of the news so often. And I totally understand it. I understand that, that's the environment we're in. But I think for me, it's literally day to day with me. I'm just trying to do the best that I can every day, evaluate things as they come, and I'm trying to make a good decision for me and my family. And you think about this. I mean, if he does plan to go ahead and retire, there will be. I mean, we have a generation of NFL fans that have never seen the NFL without Tom Brady in it. I mean, personally, I'd like to see him come back for one more year, but if he does decide to hang it up, he will be hanging up a 22 career that saw 7 Super Bowl wins, multiple Super Bowl MVPs. I mean, for a guy that everybody in the draft completely wrote off. And for the large part, so did the Patriots, but the Patriots took him in the 6th round. I think it was like 146th overall or something like that. But, I'm just kind of sitting there thinking, I'm like, this dude's is as old as I am. And he's out there doing things that are just like outstandingly remarkable. Um, this has been one of his most mobile years, like as far as like rushing. Um, I mean, the dude owns so many records in the books. I mean, now records were made to be broken, but a lot of his records are going to be hard to break. Um, I don't think anybody will ever see seven Super Bowl rings ever. Um, if they
or
do,
the 20 years.
well,
You know
yeah,
how
well,
the
the
20
22
years
years,
or 22 years?
22 years at quarterback.
Yeah.
And it just seemed,
When's the last time you had was there a person that did like 22 years of quarterback?
well, I think, well, like Brett Favre did 20 or 21, but the thing about Brett Favre is that, man, he was fucking, he was old halfway through his career. And, you know, the problem with drinking that Brett Favre had didn't help his aging
George
process.
Belina.
Yeah. You know, I
Bland.
mean, there was, I think it was Bruce Matthews. He was a lineman for the Houston Oilers / Tennessee Titans. He had a pretty long career as a lineman, which was kind of remarkable.
Yeah, because they get brain damaged.
You know, but if he decides to hang it up, to spend more time with his wife, to spend more time with his kids, I can't fault him for that. It'll definitely put a bow on probably one of the most remarkable, if not the most remarkable, career in NFL history. And we may probably go another generation or two before we see anything like we see in Tom Brady. I mean, is it the type of situation where, you know, you're going to see grown men cry, get emotional whenever, you know, he decides to finally come out and say, I'm retiring?
Get this. They're already putting it on the news. It's like with if and when Tom Brady retires, could Buccaneers turn to Aaron Rodgers? I don't see that.
I don't see it either. If anything else, when Jimmy Garoppolo, the quarterback for San Francisco, when he gets healthy, I see him maybe stepping into it. Because he's already proven that. I mean, he's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, they came within a field goal of
They
beating
made
the
it to the
Rams to
final
go to the
rounds.
Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean,
They made it
to
to
the
the
conference
final rounds.
championship. I mean, and plus on top of that, man, I mean, a lot of the seniors and juniors that are playing quarterback in college football now, I mean, they're damn good. I mean, they're good. I mean, they're not Tom Brady good, but I mean, like I said, he's kind of you know, he's on his own level. I mean, that's his own own quarterback rating, own level, you know, kind of a thing. We'll just have to wait and see. But
I thought he still had like one more year on his contract.
I think he does have 1 year on his contract. If he decides to retire, I mean, obviously at this point, I think it would help the Buccaneers as far as their salary cap situation is going to be concerned, because they wouldn't have to pay him his entire remaining contract. But I mean, I see Tom Brady kind of, if he does decide to hang it up, I see him kind of laying low for maybe a season or two before the networks start calling on him to become an analyst or an announcer or something like that.
I mean, nowadays, if it comes around to it and everything, depending on his listeners, he has his podcast. He doesn't really need. I mean, he could do it, but nowadays, honestly, being an announcer is not like a big flashy thing anymore when you can do your own stuff.
It's not, but I mean it's a ratings grab.
Yeah, that's basically all it is you're just pulling a name.
And you're just there for the network to generate numbers, because it's like, especially if like, say if he becomes an announcer for CBS and CBS's first game that he announces in New England, right? I mean, dude, that's going to be, I mean, they're going to put on some kind of big cheesy dog and pony show like, thanks, Tom, for all the memories and blah, 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 you know.
Really? They do dog and pony shows? No.
Um, I don't think I see him going out on a loss. If Tom Brady decides to hang it up, I don't see it being for at least another year. And when he does come, if he decides to say, look, I'm going to finish, this is going to be my last year, this is going to be his swan song. Yeah, it's going to definitely put a target on his back for sure, because there's going to be a lot of people, especially these defensive ends, that want to get one last sack of Tom Brady before the GOAT finally goes away.
Yeah.
But it's gonna put the pressure on the Buccaneers as an organization to put people around him that are going to give him the best shot to go out as a world champion. I mean, why not go for 8 rings? I mean, come on. You know, 8's a nice even number, and 7, for the most part, seems to kind of be that plateau. Because I mean, you've got 3 7-time NASCAR champions. You know, I mean, he's a current 7-time world champion. I don't know. But yeah, if he decides to come back for one more year, again, I see Tampa Bay really kind of just going all in. They'll definitely get creative with their contract structuring. They're going to be aggressive in the draft. I mean, they're really going to be looking for people that are going to give Tom Brady his best shot at going out on top.
Yeah. And it might be the reverse what you were talking about, of it might be draining their bank account really hardcore just to get that set up.
And if they do, I mean, because at this point, I think that what he did for the culture in Tampa Bay really defies explanation, because here he comes in to a mid-market team, and he just completely turned it on its head, and he got people hyped up. They're like, holy crap, we're playing with Tom Brady. Tom Brady is our quarterback.
Yeah.
And I mean, immediately guys bought into the system. Immediately guys bought into the, into the LFG, let's fucking go, I mean, immediately people wanted to come out of retirement to come play with him, i.e., Rob Gronkowski. And but Rob Gronkowski is arguably one of the best tight ends who have played the game. I mean, if we're talking about sheer career numbers, to include the 4 Super Bowl championships that he won with Tom Brady. And not to take away from Gronkowski, but I mean, I think without Tom Brady, he's a mid-level performer at best. But he's always been a part of that culture, especially the culture in New England with Tom Brady, bringing in those multiple Super Bowl championships. I mean, he took New England from a half-ass organization to a 6-time world champion organization.
Yeah.
The only other team that's done that well is the Steelers.
Yeah.
And
I never thought of that. They only have like 6.
Yeah, they've only got 6, and all 6 of them they won with Tom Brady under center. But I mean, Tampa Bay has already won one. They won one back in the I want to say the late 90s. Can't remember when. It wasn't that terribly long ago. I mean, when they had like Warren Sapp playing for them. But I mean, they had one, John Gruden, the one that got fired from coaching the Raiders for being a quote unquote racist.
Yeah.
He was the head coach at the time. And I mean, but then just like most Florida-based market teams, whenever they win their championship, they gut the entire organization, and they basically started over from scratch, which is what Tampa Bay did the first time. Now, when Tom Brady came in, they signed him to a 2-year deal.
Okay, they
And
won. Okay, I got it. Sorry. Super Bowl 20, 86. They went. They didn't win. They didn't win that one. Okay, here we go. 36 was 2002, and all of them been with Brady. They've been
no,
to the
Brady
Super
was
Bowl
not their quarterback in when they won their first Super Bowl.
2002.
I'm not talking about the Patriots. I'm talking
Oh,
about the Buccaneers.
Buccaneers is totally different.
Yeah. Thanks for actively participating in
I
the
thought you were talking
conversation.
about the Patriots. Fuck.
I had to bust your balls. Okay. But I mean, like I said, I mean, he said that he's been blessed to have played as long as he's had. And I think that we've been blessed as fans to see something like that on the field week in and week out for the last 22 years. And I mean, he's generated a lot of hate, but then again, people like to mock greatness because either they're jealous of it or they don't understand it. And when
2003.
somebody, yeah, 2003, that I knew it was in the 2000s. So, I think it was like Hostetler, I think it was their quarterback. Anyways,
I can't think so.
but I mean, people have kind of forgotten that Tampa Bay had a team, and then Tom Brady out of nowhere decides to sign a contract with them. He completely flipped that market on its head. And yeah, I mean, they went 9-7 their first year. They got to the playoffs as a wild card, and they played every game on the road with the exception of the Super Bowl, which just happened to be held in their stadium last year. I mean, they got to host they were the first team to host a Super Bowl in their home stadium, and consequently won that Super Bowl. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it's definitely a story to keep our eye on over the next couple, coming weeks. But I'm kind of looking forward to, the next 2 weeks. I mean, we've got the Pro Bowl next week, which I mean,
Yeah, and then on
the
the
NFL
Pro
needs to
Bowl,
do. Yeah, the NFL needs to do something about the Pro Bowl. I mean, they moved it to Las Vegas this year, which I'm cool with or whatever, right? I mean, they just keep changing the venues. But I think that in order for the Pro Bowl to, generate the ratings that it needs and to bring something back to the meaning of being an all pro.
well, they've already replaced Russell. They replaced Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers with Russell Wilson and Kirk Cousins.
Well, no, I mean, that's not what I'm talking about. Like baseball used to be the winner of the All-Star game was the home team in the World Series. And now they've changed it to where the best record, between the National and the American League gets to host, gets to be the home team for the World Series. So baseball took away the meaning, took away something. I mean, the All-Stars that went to the baseball All-Star game when the winner decided home team in home field in the World Series. I mean, they gave them something to play for. And now the All-Star game again is just kind of something flashy where the players are out there and they're just kind of half-assing. I mean, they're basically kind of phoning it in a little bit. And I mean, being an all-star in baseball isn't what it used to be. And I think that the I think that the All-Star, the Pro Bowl needs to have some kind of meaning to it. And I mean, what that is, I have no clue. But And that's for somebody who gets paid to make those decisions, to do exactly that, is make that decision. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, the Pro Bowl, I used to enjoy watching the Pro Bowl when I was a kid, but I mean, it just really, I mean, when you see players kind of opting out of it because, they don't want to play, you know, or the ones that do show up, I mean, it's all about who's got the best celebration after making a routine, 5-yard catch. I mean, I don't care to watch it anymore. Um, I'm looking forward to this year's Super Bowl just because, I mean, the Bengals, I mean, came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
And I
it's
mean,
more or
they
less a
played
big
every,
underdog
yeah,
story.
yeah. Well, it's a great underdog story.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, we
I
didn't
mean,
even pick them for the last. We were like, oh no, we think
but if you
the
remember, I told you I wanted them to win. I wanted
yeah,
them to beat the
yeah,
Chiefs, but
yeah. I did too, and I was a beautiful game. I actually watched that.
it was an amazing game.
It was a
Um,
freaking amazing game because
and
it came down to the line. It was in the overtime, and the Bengals came through. It was
yeah, they
just
did. They really did. I mean, they stepped up when it mattered. Um, I mean, I'm just going to kind of put it out there now verbally, and we'll get it on record next week. But I mean, as far as our show is concerned, I'm picking the Bengals to win the Super Bowl
don't
because
pick the
these
Bengals.
dudes are coming in on a roller coaster high,
Yeah,
an absolute roller coaster high. Joe Burrows is doing something in his second year that you just don't see. And I saw I saw a meme yesterday. Actually, I think it was this morning. Comparing Joe Burrow to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott's been in the league, what, 7, 8 years now.
hmm
And Joe Burrow in his second year has already gotten more playoff wins than Dak Prescott and has already made it to the Super Bowl.
that's true. Yeah, those memes
So,
have been going crazy.
yeah.
With
And see, what's funny, though, is that there was a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans that wanted to see the Cowboys draft Joe Burrow 2 years ago.
yeah,
But, of course, Jerry Jones, being Jerry Jones, was going to stick to his guns and ride Dak Prescott into the ground. I mean, I don't hang the playoff loss completely on Dak Prescott. The defense gave up a lot. Not Antonio Brown, but their cornerback Brown.
uh-huh.
I mean, I think he led the league in pass interference calls this year. And I mean, the defense, I mean, they had the number one defense in the league as far as takeaways were concerned. I mean, they created turnovers. I mean, they just hawked to the ball. I mean, they led with like 38 or 35 or 38 interceptions. I mean, they led the league. And it just, when it came down to it, they couldn't they couldn't perform when it was necessary. I mean, I think it was Stephen A. Smith. He said, the Cowboys are a regular season team, but once, I mean, they'll wow you and they'll make you believe during the regular season, but as soon as the playoffs come,
Yeah,
you
they
know,
choke. I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, and next to Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, I mean, they're probably the biggest choke artists in the NFL, hands down.
yeah. And the 90s team was probably the best team setup they have had. And honestly, I think most of it was fueled by cocaine. But
You will never prove that
I'll
because
never be able to prove that.
they were still doing drug testing and steroids testing back in the 90s for the NFL. And I mean, yeah, Michael Irving stabbed one of his teamates in the locker room over a haircut.
What's really funny is you get if you look at the Drinking Bros podcast, they had Michael Irving on it, and he just admits all the craziness that happened. I mean, he admits it on like live TV.
Yeah. I
He
mean,
he is a
but that was the
freaking
culture
riot.
then. I mean, that was the culture, and I just, I'm kind of like, just, I sit back and I look at the teams from the 90s, and I don't want to say that was a tougher brand of football or anything like that. I just think that the personalities were bigger back then.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm really glad that we didn't have social media back then because, oh Lord, that would have been some extra sauce right there.
I don't know. My opinion is they'll do the same thing that they did this time. Is a lot of people would. I mean, you'd get some like weird stuff that would happen like first off, but eventually the PR department would go, "Hey, you have to do it this way, or you're fired." Which a lot of that is actually true. Now, I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of people tell you right when you get hired on a new job is like, hey, if you post stuff like this, you're fired because we're going to be looking at it.
Yeah. Now, kind of switching gears a little bit here. The Raiders were making some pretty big moves. I mean, they fired their head coach and general manager, and then they went to the Patriots and hired Josh McDaniels, who has been the Patriots offensive coordinator for the longest time. I think 4 out of the 6 Super Bowls that the Patriots won, Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator. I mean, him and Tom Brady are like tight, right? And then they went out and hired the Patriots general manager, Dave Ziegler, to take on that responsibility for the Raiders. So the Raiders, I don't know. I mean, they were scrappy this year. So I mean, I think that they might be turning the corner and trying to make a run to be for real next year. Um,
Yeah,
the
I'm looking at all that stuff right
Vikings
now.
are planning to fly Jim Harbaugh, who's been the head coach at the University of Michigan for the last few years, out to Minnesota for an interview to take over their head coaching spot. Um,
I thought that was
and then
supposed to happen after the Super Bowl,
well,
or
I
is it
mean,
happening?
they can make these announcements, but like any kind of like definitive, hey, splash moves, generally it's good form to wait until after the Super Bowl. But the new Bears general manager Ryan Poles, he said that they're going to take back the NFC North and never give it up, never give it back. Um,
Huh. I
we'll
like
see.
fantasy fiction too.
Yeah, right. But you know, I think with if Tom Brady does make an exit, I think the NFL's in good hands with its crop of young quarterbacks. I mean, we're talking about Josh Allen, we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, we're talking about Joe Burrow.
Not
I
even
mean,
that. I mean, it's the new blood that you got to look at too. Then
that's what I'm
coming out.
talking about. I just said that. I mean, we're talking about the young core of quarterbacks that they've got out there now.
I was talking about for the drafts that's coming up from
Oh,
the college
oh,
level.
okay, yeah. Well, I mean, with the draft, I mean, the problem with that is, man, is that you've got your diamonds in the rough, right? You've got your Mac Joneses, you've got your Joe Burrows, you've got your Josh Allens, but generally speaking, man, any of these hot-handed quarterbacks, dude, it, and unless an organization decides that they are going to gather around their new quarterback and they're going to look at them and say, look, what do you need? Or they're going to have a quarterback coach or an offensive coordinator or a head coach that understands the mentality of a new quarterback. I mean, a lot of these guys are just going to come in and they're going to flounder and just they're going to wash out of the NFL.
I don't
You've
know.
seen it. Dude, it's happened so many times. It used to be the thing
Well, for
where
the draft,
if
well,
you got drafted by the if you got you used to be if you got drafted by the Cleveland Browns, you were good to be in the league for maybe 2-3 years before they drafted somebody new, and you never played it down in the NFL ever again. I mean, there's even a quarterback
are you talking about
that
the number one draft pick curse?
not so much that well, and it's like teams like Cleveland, it's teams like the New York Jets, it's teams like the Jacksonville Jaguars. Those perennial losing teams like the Detroit Tigers. Now, the Detroit Tigers, they've got to work on some chemistry. They've got to figure out offensive line.
I mean, the
They've got to
Detroit
figure out,
Lions.
yeah.
Don't confuse me. You kept on saying the Detroit Tigers.
Did I say the Tigers?
God, yes. I was like, wait a minute,
Well, ever
what?
since they gave up their pitching rotation to the wind, The Tigers have been, irrelevant too. But anyways, the Detroit
I got
Lions. Thank
so
you for
fucking
catching
cute.
me.
I got
No,
so fucking confused. It wasn't catching. It was like, wait a minute.
no, you caught
Wasn't
me.
it?
No, it's
Was
not that
that
you
a
caught
truck?
me. You
It's
you bailed me out there, so I
yeah,
appreciate
yeah,
that.
yeah, 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 yeah.
But
I'm here for you, brother.
hey, you know, but I mean, with the Lions, I mean, they've got some chemistry issues to work out. I mean, their secondary, absolute mayhem. They're going to have to go out and I mean, they're going to have to they're going to have to be defensively minded coming into the next year's draft.
Yeah, they haven't
But
really been relevant since Mick Foley put on the Leatherman jacket.
talking about Axel Foley,
Axel Foley, goddamn. Yes, Axel
you had
Foley.
me so confused. I was thinking Mankind. I'm like, what? Um,
We both did it at the same fucking house.
no, really, you didn't have me confused. I was trying to give you an easy out there.
Oh God. I don't know why I was thinking Mick Foley. Well, Foley. Okay, I know Mick Foley.
Eat Sacco,
Yeah.
but I
You
mean,
know what? We need to do WWE.
oh God, no, because that's going to require me to watch it, and I don't want to.
Oh my gosh. I
Dude,
don't
back in the
either.
90s and
90s,
in the
yes, we could
early
talk.
2000s,
Yes, we could have talked.
I mean, Stone Cold Steve Austin's got a podcast where he talks about all the crap that went on back in the day. I mean, there's all kinds of documentaries out there. I just don't have the energy. I'm like Rip Wheeler when he walks out and he sees Beth standing next to the bar, and he's like, I don't have the energy for you today.
Yeah.
I don't have the energy or the time to devote to watching choreographed. I mean, not to say that these guys aren't athletes, because these dudes
They do
are
some
hardcore.
amazing stuff. Yeah.
They do some amazing stuff.
They're
But
more
I
I've always considered them more like stunt people.
I used to look at wrestling as the male equivalent of a soap opera.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
But the writers that script the plot lines and stuff, it's just so,
Cartoonish.
I mean, not that it was believable before, but it's just so outlandishly over the top now. And I mean, for crying out loud, they've got, I don't even know if she's really Ric Flair's granddaughter, but Charlotte Flair, and she's basically assuming the persona of Ric Flair. And I'm like, come on.
Yeah, after the whole Ric Flair thing.
I'm like, come on, man, seriously. And I mean, and it's just not really, to me. I mean, once the Undertaker officially hung it up and left, I'm like, eh. I mean, that was really kind of the last of the old school for me. Now, I know that The Rock makes an appearance every once in a while when he's hawking a new movie. Stone
Yeah.
Cold Steve Austin's still active. I don't know if he's like an active wrestler, but I know that he's
No,
active
he's not an active
personality.
wrestler. He's just like he referees or commentates. That's about it.
Yeah, but yeah, we're looking at Super Bowl 56, man. I'm just kind of like, wow, the Rams and the Bengals. I mean, this is,
No, if you told somebody like in the beginning of
yeah, if
this,
you'd have
it would
told
have been
somebody
like,
at the beginning of
what?
the year that the
No.
Bengals were going to make the Super Bowl, no, they
I
would have
didn't
laughed
even
you
I
out.
barely know football. And I'd be like, who? No. No, not with your track record.
No, absolutely not. Sorry, had to hawk up some lung butter there. But it's all this back and forth with the weather, dude. And then now they're talking about 6 to 16 inches of snow potentially on Thursday. And I'm just sitting there going, you better fucking not. No, if you're going to snow 6, maybe 7, 8 inches. But if you get anywhere over a foot, that fucks my weekend plans all to hell.
I just keep on seeing this the snow drift of what it was like, this is what's gonna be snow. I was like, man, that's a huge erection. I mean, have you seen the photos of them?
I've seen, and those are old memes. Yes.
I just see a big erection. Like, I mean, it's sad. But anyways, I'm done.
As Sigmund Freud would say, tell me about your mother. No. But I mean, of course, to Sigmund Freud, everything was phallic. So there we go. But yeah, man, I'm excited about this game. I think the Bengals can do it.
It would be interesting, and I'm after that I would buy at least one Bengals thing.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that. I mean, I think I'm going to be in the market for a Joe Burrow's jersey anyway, not one that I would wear on the regular. I mean, it would be like for the show, or I may spring like the $300 or $400 to get an on-field authentic game time jersey and have
That
it
would probably
framed.
be delivered to you in January or next January.
Why? Because suddenly there's going to be a back order of it.
No, there's not going to be a back order of it. It's just going to be taking that long. I mean, have you even got your Army versus Navy jersey?
I canceled the order on that one
Oh,
because
okay.
they said that it wasn't even going to get to us till March. And I'm like, man, yeah. So, and then with just the nightmare of the officiating calls in that game, I was just like, no, I don't want nothing to do with that jersey. The one that I do want though, I'll never be able to find unless I can find it. And that is my darling bride to be.
Oh, you got to do your devotionals, don't you?
Well, she says she thinks she's decided on a dress.
Oh, okay. Might I suggest the Selena Kyle Catwoman dress?
No.
That's a good dress. I'm hoping to find a woman that'll wear that dress for me.
If you do, hey, more power to you.
It's a very beautiful dress. I'm going to send her a picture of it. I'm doing it right now.
Please don't. It's fine when I text her during the show, but no, not you. You want to text her afterwards, then fine. But you have to preface your text message with, he talked about the dress text during the show. I'm shooting you an idea.
Fine. I'll do
Yeah.
that.
Fine. Anyways. So the jersey from the Army Navy games that I do want, it's got like inside the numbers, it's a map of the Battle of Battle of the Bulge. And it was basically they were celebrating the anniversary of Bastogne. And I mean that's a jersey that I want. And that's a game that they almost name ass won, but their quarterback, to this day I mourn for this kid. He was a senior and he fumbled the ball on the goal line with what would have been a go-ahead touchdown. And I mean, like the emotion just overtook him. I mean, this kid was openly crying on the sideline. And I mean, teammates were coming over to trying to console him. And I mean, he just was outwardly apologetic for losing that game. But I don't know. I mean,
Oh man, that almost happened to this game, didn't it? Like the last throw with the Chiefs. The Chiefs almost lost the ball and got an interception.
dude,
It was,
are you talking about that game with the Bills?
huh?
You talking about that overtime game with the Bills, the Buffalo Bills?
No, this weekend. It was right before the overtime.
Oh yeah. No, when Joe Burrow's kind of flicked it out there,
Yeah.
and it all, yeah. But I mean, I don't know. As a matter of fact, here, let me do this here real fast. I am curious. Jerseys. Cincinnati Bengals. I'm gonna go for men. And I'm gonna go Nike. And all they're offering for Bengals jerseys. I don't want it. Okay, let's go Joe Burrow. Wow, an autographed Super Bowl helmet. Autographed by Joe Burrow, $800.
Damn.
A football, $400. Let me see here. Autographed Super Bowl footballs. Joe Burrow, $600. One autograph by Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, $900. Let me see here. Oh, come on. Where's the filters at? We're going to go Nike jerseys. Well, I don't. Oh, you know what? Let me do this. Let me see if the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't care about Fanatic. I really cannot stand Fanatics. I can't.
Nah, you gotta care for the Fanatics.
No,
I
no,
really
no.
don't either.
I'm talking about the online sports store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, that their customer service is deplorable. And I'm just like, no, just don't put your own brand out there. Let me shop what I want to shop. Don't force your crap down my throat. Okay. Men's items. I want game day authentic stuff. Let me see if they've got Bengals Pro Shop. Okay. Let me do this here.
What are you trying to do? Figure out how much
I'm
they
trying to
cost?
look to see what I mean, because they've got game jerseys, and I'm like, okay, this is technically it's an authentic replica, but I'm talking about like an authentic jersey.
Mm.
Let me see here. Online store. Oh, it's gonna reroute me to a Fanatics experience. Fuck you. Okay. All right. Nike game jerseys. I mean, they've all got Super Bowl patches on them already. I don't fucking care about all that crap.
Most of that stuff is for people that actually go to the Super Bowl half the time, anyways.
Well, I mean,
But they're not. But if you order it, guarantee if you order it from that site, from what what we're gathering right now, it won't be there until like
here we go. Here we
June.
Go. They've got game used jerseys in here. Let me see. They've got one in here that's $700. Josh
Really?
Topu. Yeah. Game used. It was used against the Browns on November 7th of 2021. They don't have any.
Do they have like authentic authentication?
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, anything that they say that's game used, they're going to have to offer you a COA. But like William Jackson III, This game was used against the Colts in 2020. It's marked down from $800 to $519. Auden Tate, his is $600. Here's one. Preston Brown, Cincinnati game used number 52 black jersey versus the Buffalo Bills, September 22nd, 2019. $1,200.
Damn.
But those are the type of jerseys, like, where excuse me, where they don't, okay, just flat out jerseys, right? Mickey game. Yeah, so I don't care about all that garbage. So here we go. All right, so the Bengals Pro Shop. Yeah. All right, so men's. No, here. No. Bueller. Bengals Pro Shop. Nope. Let's go to men's. And they don't have a filter. You know what irritates me more than anything else is whenever you go to a web page to shop for something or to price something, they don't give you a filter. Okay, so an orange. Okay, so we're looking at basically jerseys from like the Bengals Pro Shop, $150. And I would kind of, I don't know. I'd kind of rock the black one. I kind of dig it. The orange is too much for me, though. That's all. Oh, okay. So here it is. Here's the ones I'm looking for. It's just like the collectible jerseys. They're called elite jerseys, right? And those are going to be about as close to authentic as you're going to get without getting game used ones. $325. But everything is sewn on, everything is embroidered, right? Now, what I find funny is let me see here. Now, if you go to like Major League Baseball, and you go, let me see here, jerseys, authentic. That's comparable. Authentic jerseys, same material, the same quality of craftsmanship that goes into the actual on-field jerseys that are worn during a game.
Yeah.
Ooh, that one's a steal. Holy crap. Okay. You're looking anywhere from $345 for a personalized jersey to $325 for okay, this one is that's the City Connect. I might try it again. Let me see here. Hold on. An Andrew Benintendi authentic Red Sox jersey. It was 300. It's on sale for 120. And holy shit, they've got 4 left in my size. oh yeah. Yeah, this is happening. Hold on a second. I'm not buying it. I'm doing something here. Hold on.
What are you doing?
Sent that to my one. I sent the link, but
yeah. I guess that's the end of the episode.
No, it's not.
No. You're God, I can't believe you did that.
I have no shame, dude. I mean, I really don't. Okay, so now that I'm done,
Focused onto the show.
I was dropping like the world's biggest hint for a Valentine's Day gift. How about that? But I'm looking
Hell,
forward to
mine's
this
like
game.
alive.
Alive or a life?
We'll
Both?
get back to that.
Okay, not a problem. I wasn't saying that you don't have a life. I was not implying that at all, sir. Do not get me twisted.
Oh no.
Anyway,
I'm not. I didn't even think about that. I was like, huh. If I give life to someone that I like, someone that's I would probably do Brittany Murphy. She was cute. Give life back. That was my thinking. So
well, so if you're talking about the soul stone, so you give a lot, give a soul to save a soul. Whose soul are you giving? And it can't be somebody evil because that's too easy. Because
no,
the way
because you
that the
have
soul stone
well,
works is you have to.
the way they set it up in the. Are you talking MCU or are we talking like
We're talking
like
MCU.
comics?
MCU soul
MCU,
stone.
you have to care about the person,
You
and
have to give up the life of a loved one.
yeah. Well, you're out.
Good, because Mindy would have incredible heartburn with you.
Yeah, I know.
Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sacrifice him. What? Oh yeah, great deal. Making a deal, bringing back Brittany Murphy. Like, there'd be certain conditions involved, like in her current state, which would be zombie Brittany Murphy, which would be just like an incredibly awkward screw.
Yeah.
Or are we talking like,
oh yeah,
cracked out 8 Mile Brittany Murphy?
She was in Maymile, wasn't she?
She was.
Huh.
She licked her fingers, went down, wet herself, and then screwed Eminem at the plant.
No.
And then
Even better.
And then they got balled out in the studio.
Yeah. Even better. And I know you've never seen this movie. It was and she was in it. It was Overdrive. You know that
Wasn't
guy?
she in one of those like rom-com movies where it was like Just Married or Just Friends or something like that?
Probably.
It was with Ashton Kutcher. Anyways, that went completely off the rails. Anyhow,
I'm curious.
Yeah, but this is
Just
gonna be a good
Married.
game.
Yeah, you're right. She was Sarah.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good game. I'm looking forward to it. Also, 2 weeks after the Super Bowl is over, pitchers and catchers are due to report for base or for spring training.
Mm-hmm.
So if any players or any owners happen to accidentally come across our show and are listening to it for whatever reason.
Oh, it was called Drive.
I've only got one message for you. One thing to say. This is from a heartfelt place. And I think I can speak confidently on behalf of all Major League Baseball fans. Pull your heads out of your collective asses and get out on the field and play ball. Seriously. I mean, come on. Really? Come on. Enough fucking around, guys. I mean, it's retarded. This is ridiculous at this point. Hammer out some fine point issues and agree on the rest. And let's just get back to baseball, because honestly, after the 2020 season debacle, when we started spring training but canceled spring training and then played a half a season and then gave the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw an illegitimate World Series trophy. I mean, we're talking almost as illegitimate as the Houston Astros World Series trophy, but I digress. Get it together. Come on. It's just enough is enough.
They'll
It's
figure
either
it
that.
out the last
It's
freaking
either
minute like
that.
they usually do.
It's either that, or you just go ahead and cancel the whole damn season. 2022 just never happened. And we give all of the network rights to college baseball, because I will guarantee you that those kids are out there playing for the love of the game. They are out there grinding their asses off for nothing more than sheer unadulterated pride. And that is the way that the game should be played.
There's some of those ball players just going, just whatever. Just look, can I go?
They
to
have
work?
to.
Yeah.
I mean, they're like, look, and especially these guys that are making league minimum. They're like, look, I don't give a fuck what we do. Just get me on that field so I can earn a paycheck and make my house payment. That's all they care about.
That is true. But anyways,
And you got these guys that play in the minors. I mean, they're hoping to get called up from AAA, and they're like, look, come on, I need my shot. Because a lot of these guys are these journeyman players where they're just they've been scratching it out for their entire career at a chance to make the show. And this year might be their last chance to do it before they have to hang it up.
I still want to see what happens with the replacements with Keanu Reeves and everything. I mean, you could do that with almost any sports and everything like that, but baseball is more likely to have it done.
Well, we can't get Kevin Costner to star in it because he's busy.
Yes, he is busy. He's going to stay busy, and I don't want him to get away from that. That is just, I don't want him to go away from it. God, that show is so good. That show is so good.
Once I finally just bit the bullet and decided just to go ahead and jump on that train, bro.
You wish you're like, why didn't I get on this train sooner? Why didn't someone take me to the train station?
And now I just finished episode 4 of 1883, where they cross the river.
Bro, wait until 5.
Yeah, and then 6 isn't going to be until next month.
No, it's right now. I already watched it.
Oh, just 6? Okay, so what is it? Like a 7 or 8 season episode?
I don't know.
Or 8 episode season rather?
It might be just 8. With those stars and everything and how much they have to pay. I mean, technically they're probably just moving like different directions of the camera or adding something to it. I mean, you have all the props right there. You don't really have to do anything. I mean, you're just moving a couple of cast members off the show.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're getting less wagons, so we need only about 4 to 5 right now.
Yeah. I'll tell you one person that is not hurting for money right now, and that is Taylor Sheridan.
Especially since he bought the 4-6 ranch.
Yeah, he bought the 4-6. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was. So. And what's really weird is his whole doing this show, the Yellowstone starting out now 1883. They're also going to do they already have like the 4-6's ranch, and they're going to do a 4-6 show. But the whole reason why they're doing it, the reason why they're doing the show, or he started this, is because nobody's really done like a ranching show since like what, Bonanza?
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, nobody's done like any kind of like, a good wholehearty, this is where your freaking food comes from, basically. And that's what it is. That was the first episode of the first 5 minutes of that show.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Costner is like, this is what we do to keep you fed. So,
but all right, man. I am going to
I'm going to bed. I'm going to put this
yeah,
up.
I gotta
and
get
I'm
in the
going to bed.
shower
Yeah.
and I gotta get ready for work because I'm going in at 6 tomorrow. And yeah, I've got a full day.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to crank out as many jobs as we possibly can before the snow hits. So
we're doing the
we're
same
up against the
thing.
clock. So
We're doing the same thing. If
I
it
fully
wasn't for
expect to
the
not to do shit on Thursday or
so
Friday.
if we
even.
have time on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday before you leave, we can crunch out those 2 episodes and just forget about the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Because you're still going to Houston?
Yeah. Well, depending on whether or not the roads are clear.
Yeah.
Or if the roads are clear, fine. Great. Awesome. Good. But yeah, if the roads suck, man. I mean, I'm of the mindset that I would just rather be safe than
Yeah.
because
I still need you.
take a number and get in line.
No.
Okay.
But anyways, thank you for watching, everybody, for the Nerd Sports. I'm David Dickerman.
I'm Johnny Skelton.
And
victory.
all right, buddy.
Later, guys.